Hey everybody, I hope you are well. A number of you have been in touch with me this week in response to the government's announcements earlier in the week saying that religious organisations, churches are now allowed to open and meet with up to 100 people. And a number of you have got in touch with me because you're excited and you want to know what we're doing at St Paul's. So I just wanted to make a little video just to kind of explain where we are at. Along with that opening up, there are some other regulations and stipulations that we have to carry out. So part of that is that there's 2 metre social distancing, which of course we know about. There are also things about there's no lingering or mingling time, that congregation members are to walk into their seats, sit down at the end, walk straight out again with no conversation happening. And so there's no chance for fellowship. Also, one of the big ones for me is there is no congregational singing. 2 people are allowed to sing and the rest of us will just have to kind of sit and participate. So it means changing the way we worship. Now, I've been talking to some of you during the week and about that, and your expression back to me has been that just sounds a bit sterile and unchurch-like. If we're not allowed to have fellowship, we're not allowed to sing. On top of that, we're not quite sure what we will do with children and youth work. So if you've got children, can you attend? What will we provide for them? So all these things we need to work out. We've actually been making plans for a few weeks. We knew that this was coming, but we actually thought it was coming kind of later into July. And so it's come a bit quicker than was initially told to us. But nevertheless, at St Paul's, we are not planning to open up just yet. We will stay as we are online. I feel that what we can provide online is probably better than what we're able to do under those conditions of no fellowship, no congregational singing, of probably not being able to offer any children or youth work when we gather. Not having our own building is a big hurdle. It's overcomable, and we're looking into that. What premises can we use? But I just want to get your expectations kind of aligned with where we're at, in that we are not planning to start gathering together for services in the coming weeks, and maybe in the next month or so. I'm not quite sure of the time frame. So I'd love you to be praying for us as we're looking into what we can do and how we do it, how we kind of keep on improving what we're offering online. There are a few changes that we are making now behind the scenes, so we'll start to record things at the church centre rather than with my living room behind my kids in the background right now trying to get my attention. So we'll change some of that, but for the time being, we won't be gathering together. In these coming days and weeks, as things open up, I want us more than ever to be aware of and seeking God to get the fruit of the Spirit to grow within us. There are all kinds of feelings around this. People are anxious about kind of reintegrating, of places opening up, of children going back to school, going back to the office, whereas others are delighted and happy. And also there's our own personality types. We hear rules and regulations, and some people like to stretch that as far as we can, whereas others like to kind of confine and make sure we stay well within what we're told to do. And that will cause tension and frustrations and fallout. So we need to be praying that we are filled with the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, self-control, and one that I've missed off. Because we need to be aware that right now people's emotions are all over the place, and there are people in different places. Some are excited, some are nervous, and some people go up and down between. I'd love you to join us this Sunday or this weekend, whenever you do it, for our online worship. We're starting a new sermon series called God's Playlist, Praying the Psalms. And we are starting this Sunday by looking at the Psalms of Lament. And so if what I've shared with you about us not being able to gather for a little while yet, or choosing not to gather, then there is space to lament. Lament for all kinds of things, kind of showing our sorrow, our grief, our sadness, our anger, actually, what we've been seeing in our news over the next few weeks. So do join us this weekend as we continue to worship online. thank you for watching this. Any questions, any comments, get in touch. But just to reiterate, for the coming weeks, we are not planning to gather together, and it will be a little while yet before we make any moves to do that. And that's a deliberate choice, having looked into it. Not that we've been caught off guard, not at all, but we've chosen that this is the best way for us at the moment, and the best way that we can ensure that we are not the cause of the spread of a mini outbreak or anything like that. I'd love you to pray for me. Pray for Dominic. Continue to pray for him and his family as they are now in the process of leaving the UK and coming over to Belgium for all the practicalities of that. I miss you all. I'm looking forward to the day where we can gather together. But for the time being, let's make the best of what we have, which is online services, gathering together on Sunday for coffee time, a real highlight of the week. If you've not joined that, then I'd love you to join us, just so we can see one another and catch up. Anyway, I've been going on for way too long now. Thank you for persevering to the end, and I'll see you soon.